In this video, we will talk about journey actions. Let's get started. This video is going to be most helpful if you already have a decent foundation of what journeys are and their intended purpose, and at least the interface and the general idea of how to set them up. So the first tip of 3 that we're going to cover today is how to easily build a CSS selector to use in one of our journey actions. So we're going to pretend that we are setting up a journey to go to ObservePoint.com and then to click on the login button. So I'm going to choose selector type CSS selector because that's the type of selector we're going to build right now. We're going to open up an incognito window and we're going to go to ObservePoint.com and we're going to inspect login. So inspecting that'll open up the dev tools and highlight the HTML that corresponds to that element on the page. I'm going to copy the HTML attribute and value. And I'm going to, in the console, type in document.query selector. And in parentheses and single quotes and finally brackets, this is the syntax that we can use to build our selector. We can append a .click to that code, hit enter, and we can observe if it does what we expect it to do or hope that it does. In this case, it does. So that's the first tip. This is a selector syntax that you can use with any HTML attribute type. And of course, we would simply then go in and paste that selector right here. Now, there might be instances where the selector is not unique to that element on the page. And that might cause issues because that could make the journey click on another element on accident. So we're going to do this code again, but this time we're going to do query selector all. This displays all elements on the page that share that selector. In this instance, the element that we wanted to click on login is the first one in this list of arrays. So that's what the journey would actually click on. If that's not the case, if our element was get a demo that we want to click on, one option that is available to us is we simply say with the array ordering notation 1 to indicate the second element, and then we will apply a .click, and we're actually going to save and copy this and put this into our action. If that's what we wanted to do, is click the demo button. We're actually going to make this a execute JavaScript action and just put that JavaScript in there. Of course, you can always go and execute it on your browser console to see if it does what you expect it to do, and of course it does in this instance. And the final tip that we will cover today is how to troubleshoot using the JavaScript help doc. So we will go to help.observepoint.com. We will type in JavaScript tips and tricks. And we have a bunch of JavaScript that is documented with its intended purpose of why it's useful that we can use for various situations. For example, you guys may have noticed that the login button that we clicked on, it opened up a new tab in my Chrome window. That is something that will disrupt the journey. The journey doesn't have the ability to navigate tabs. So what we would need to do is use this JavaScript to effectively change the HTML so that it does not open up a new browser tab, but that it simply loads the new URL in the existing tab. And that would allow us, if we wanted to build a journey, to go to the login page to handle that type of functionality. So if you enjoyed this content, you can find other videos on our YouTube channel. If you have additional questions, please reach out to our team.